So it's been a lot of weird, random stuff that's been happening this week, and I think it's time to talk about something.
Give me your wig. Give me your wig. Cause it seems like you are through with it.
I'm telling you, crazy ass news. First of all, they had in Miami this condo and just fell the fuck down. I saw this headline from, I think it was the Washington Post. It said the condo board knew that Champlain Towers South in Surfside, Florida needed major repairs. It did not know the complex was in a race against time, so I'm sure there's gonna be more bullshit brought up about that. But I saw that shit and I'm just like, I cannot imagine a whole fucking building falling on top of my head like we playing Jenga, bitch. You got me fucked up. You got me fucked up. And speaking of shit that I never want to experience ever, I know this past weekend was 4th of July weekend, but it still would give me the heebie-jeebies, no Gina Rodriguez, to see this shit play out in my neighborhood Walmart. Take my ass to nobody's Walmart, and it's just, it is what it is, unless like it's in the area, it's really closed and I really desperately need something that only Walmart sells, which I'm trying to think of something, you know, and it's not. I would really have to be between a rock and a hard place. I'm talking about between Stone Mountain and somebody's BBC. I'm like a rock and a hard place if I'm gonna enter into anybody's Walmart, bitch, okay? But the fact that, can you imagine going in there for some toilet paper or some shit and these people are singing the fucking national anthem like it's the Purge, girl? I'm like, get me out of here. Get me out of here. Like, bitch, I'm looking for the noose, bitch. They're coming to get me, bitch. I'm hearing dogs, I'm hearing chains and shit, I'm hearing cracking with whips and shit. It's not like y'all are hearing the national anthem and I'm hearing hoods with eyes cut out approaching on horseback, bitch. Get me out of here. Literally cannot even imagine that shit happening to me, girl. Like literally going in there for some, I don't know, Simply Lemonade, because y'all know they put crack in that shit. Simply Lemonade, and these bitches are out here like we about to go to war or something. Like, please get me out here. Please get me out here. Anyway, speaking of someone who needs to get out of here is Lil Uzi Vert. Well, before I even talk about that, let me give you some context. There was this big 4th of July party that happened in the Hamptons, and the reason I know about it is because of social media, because, I mean, obviously that shit is out of my motherfucking tax bracket. Do not ask me who threw that shit. I think it's somebody called Michael Rubin threw the party or something. I don't know, girl. Don't ask me who that person is. Don't ask I have no fucking idea, but apparently all of these celebrities were there. I think Megan performed and Doja performed. It was just, everybody was over there, but bitch, Beyonce was there, I think, Jay-Z was there with his annoying ass, no shade. But the thing that really stuck out to me is this shit right here. Like Lil Uzi Vert, and apparently it was like an all-white party, and Lil Uzi Vert in all white was sitting over here like it was, I said this in my podcast on patreon.com/AdrianExpression. Oh, go check it out. It was like lunchtime at middle school or some shit. He just literally got down there and started breakdancing in all white. Bitch, I'm not messing up no good outfit. I'm not messing up no good outfit to do no breakdance on these fucking alcohol drenched ass, dirty ass floor. But bitch, Lil Uzi Vert said that's exactly what he did. But what really it's just crazy to me. XXL, I think, was the magazine that broke this story of Lil Uzi Vert alleged being accused of literally beating up his ex right before he went to the party, like literally pulling a guy, like beating her ass. You know what I mean? So it's just like, I can't imagine his literal pot of gold built ass like beating up his ex and then going to this party and break dancing on the motherfucking dirty ass floor in all white. Like, look, is he okay? And then JT over there gassing his ass. It's just like, girl, this is ridiculous. Speaking of things that are ridiculous, literally as I'm holding my phone in my hand right now, and I'm just gonna let you know that if you bitches keep calling my phone, I don't know who the fuck keep calling my phone. I don't have no, bitch, if I live in an apartment, why the fuck you calling me about home insurance? What the fuck is wrong with you, bitches? I don't know who the fuck is ringing my line. I need to call AT&T to make the phone call stop, cause you a bugaboo. Bitch, I'm going to bug the fuck out of you. And you roach-built bitches are living a bug's life. Don't play with me. Anyway, speaking of things that are bugging me, it really annoys the shit out of me that y'all keep going to Lake Lanier. We already know how that lake used to be a town of black people that were just literally pushed out by racists. and they flooded that shit. There has to be. We talking about Loki, which will actually be on Adrian Extra, my YouTube channel. I'm gonna review that shit. I'm gonna review the latest episode. I already have been reviewing it. Go subscribe to Adrian Extra. But since we're talking about all that shit, Lake Lanier has to be up at this point. It has to be a portal to, you know, another dimension. It just leads you into all of the pathways of the multiverse, because it's some angry spirits down there that want to beat y'all ass, and it makes sense. Look at this doc. Look at this doc doing the fucking lean with it, rock with it. Look at it leaning back. It's doing the motherfucking stank leg, bitch. It's doing the pop lock and dropped it actually. And you hosts still keep going to the lake. If I ever found myself around that lake, I'm staying around that lake, bitch. I'm not going inside. I'm not going inside. Really quickly, I just want to show you two men. Lil Nas X is on the cover of the New York Times. Really love that. Love that. I mean, his hair is really giving me, I don't know what it's giving me. Is it giving me Medusa in a hair tie? I love it. I love it. I love it. And also, one hoe, yeah. I mean, I don't have to say much more. I mean, we don't even see his face. I just saw these pictures. I just want to let y'all know. Y'all already know I give you, you know, weekly, monthly updates on how some of my husbands are doing. And it's just to let you know that you will never, ever, ever, ever have access to them. Of course. I just have to make that shit plain. Now, P. Diddy, I don't know. Let's look at this picture, y'all. Because I was like, okay, let's look at this picture. So, Diddy said, he posted this on Instagram, and he said, one day when I was growing up, I woke up and there were 15 roaches on my face. At that moment, I said, hell no, I refuse to live like this. Work hard, believe in your crazy dreams, and never settle. And everyone was talking about it on Twitter because it's like, you woke up and you counted them. I'm sorry. So you woke up, okay, let's just be real, girl. Let's just be fucking real. If I wake up and there's a roach on my face or there's a bug on my face, I'm gonna be, bitch, I will literally give myself a black eye, bitch. Do not approach my vicinity. And especially, I was just talking about the roaches that were calling my phone, scam likely. Do not approach my vicinity, and especially do not be on my face, right? So I'm just like, and roaches, we already know those nasty ass girls, bitch. They scatter as soon as something happens. So bitch, you mean to tell me that you woke up and instead of slapping your face, you literally was just like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. I'm just like, there's a lot of fucking roaches to fit on your big ass face. Like, what's going on? Your face is giving me all types of like flat earth. Okay, that shit was fun. Like, how big is your motherfucking face, Diddy? Like, stop playing with us. Like, stop playing. If there's a bug, if there's a spider on your face, you're gonna be, bitch, immediately, bitch. And they're gonna scatter, bitch. So you mean to tell me, I caught you, bitch. It's 15 of these hoes. That's what, Diddy just be lying. Diddy be lying. Diddy be lying. For what, girl? For what? Work hard to achieve your dream. Pay your artist, girl, and get out my face. It's just like, why do you have to lie, girl? 15 roaches? Let us quickly cover the world of politics. It's not gonna take too long. Trump, I guess he's trying to sue. Just look at that shit. Former President Donald Trump on Wednesday filed class action lawsuits targeting Facebook, Google, and Twitter and their CEOs, escalating his long-running battle with the companies following their suspension of his accounts. He said, we're demanding an end to the shadow banning, a stop to the silencing, and a stop to the blacklisting, banishing, and canceling that you know so well. The suit alleges, this is a part I literally cracked up when I fucking read it. The suits allege that the companies violated Trump's First Amendment rights in suspending his accounts, and argues that Facebook in particular no longer should be considered a private company, but a state actor whose actions are constrained by First Amendment restrictions on government limitations on free speech. It's so interesting because, like, obviously this is bullshit. He's not going anywhere. I'm sure he's not even gonna pursue this shit. It's just to get his fans riled up. It's just, you know, a media storm. That's what he loves. He's not, because the entire premise is so fucked that he had to transform Facebook into a state actor in order for the First Amendment to even be applying in the way that he wants it to apply, bitch. The Constitution does not dictate what private companies can be pushing out like that, bitch. It's talking about censorship by the government, girl, and they do that shit anyway. I just thought that shit was funny. And lastly, I want to end this video on Mike Pompeo's tweet because I think it ties into how Republicans are really using this idea of big bad scary critical race theory. They're using that as a talking point. They're muddying it on purpose, and it's going to launch them into their next election cycle. And I think that as heinous as it is, the Democrats could take a page or two out of their book when it comes to just completely dominating. It's horrible what they're doing, but they know what the fuck they're doing. So Mike Pompeo says, if we teach that the founding of the United States of America was somehow flawed, that it was corrupt, it was racist, that's really dangerous. It strikes at the very foundations of our country. And it's interesting because instead of just acknowledging and dealing with the pain, racism, exploitation, the bullshit that continues in this country, it's almost like just stop talking about it, stop acting like it ever happened, and it'll be fine. But I wanted to talk about critical race theory because like I said, the Republicans are muddying it on purpose, and people are taking it and running with it without even understanding, first of all, what it is. And also, it's like it's just so easy. Critical race theory, and then you can act like it's being taught in K through 12 school. It's just like, so you can scare your base into, oh my God, they're trying to revamp America. They're trying to take away our freedom and our rights, and they're trying to tell my little white kid that he's racist. Oh my God, how am I gonna deal with this shit? So look, this is a Washington Post on critical race theory. Critical race theory is an academic framework centered on the idea that racism is systemic and not just demonstrated by individual people with prejudices. So I'm gonna read you what Kimberly Crenshaw said. If that's hopefully I'm pronouncing her name right. My dear beautiful friend Trey sent me this video, but she was on with Joy Reid. So she was talking with Joy Reid. She is a legal scholar who coined the term critical race theory. This is how she describes it. It is a way of looking at why, after so many decades, centuries after the emancipation, we have patterns of inequality that are enduring. The point of critical race theory originally was to think and talk about how law contributed to the subordinate status of African Americans, of indigenous people, and of an entire group of people who were coming to our shores from Asia. She goes on, the point was, quite frankly, to understand the problem in order to intervene in it, to understand why the greatest hopes for our republic were not being realized, even though these hopes were encoded in law. Critical race theory inherits the beliefs and hopes of Frederick Douglass and MLK, who basically wanted the law to do for the freed people what the law did for enslavers. And so she says, essentially, critical race theory picked up after the civil rights movement, basically saying, okay, we have all these laws on the books, but things aren't looking as different as they should if we really are the society that we say we are. So it's just like, okay, the emancipation happened, civil rights movement happened, certain laws on the books, certain anti-discrimination laws are on the books, but what else is in the law? How does the system of the law work? How does the construct of racism, the social construct of racism work to keep these populations subjugated? How is it replicated systematically? And it is, of course, in law school, it's not being taught K through 12, at least that critical race theory specifically is not being taught in K through 12 schools. So Republicans have been very smart, and I'm sure some of these liberals do the same shit, but Republicans have been very smart about transforming critical race theory into this like ambiguous monster that's coming for all white people, and that's being, leaking into your schools and into your children's brains. And what do we have to do to protect ourselves from that shit? Elect me, you know what I mean? And it further demonizes. It's just at every single stage of the fight, I guess if you want to call it, there's always been very strategic opposition, and this is exactly what it is. They know exactly what they're doing. They know what they're saying. You know what I mean? And it just gets their people going. And I think this is going to be one of the many platforms of the upcoming, like I said, their upcoming election cycles and what that shit's gonna look like. We already have Marjorie Taylor Greene out here comparing Biden, Mr. Crime Bill, wanting people to be vaccinated to Nazi Germany. So it's just like they're strategic about what they're doing, and their base is eating that shit. up, like eating it up. So that's all that's really going on. Or I'm sure there's so much going on. Those are the things that kind of jumped out at me this week. I hope that you enjoyed the video. Make sure that you check out patreon.com/AdrianExpression if you want more early content, if you want my podcast episodes that come out every Tuesday. Also, make sure you subscribe to Adrian Extra here on YouTube if you want my nerdy gaming content. Another recap of the most recent Low-Key episode is going up, so don't forget about that. I love you all so much, and make sure that you have a good goddamn evening.